Hi, I'm Somer Hackley,
Hi, I'm Zen Mak. This is the Art of Search Hiring Manager series.
and these are stories and insights about all things hiring. Well,
Well,
Zen, it's you and me
hello.
today. Yes, hello. So I'm
Hi.
excited to see you, as always.
Yes, always. And it's kind of nice just to be you and me for a little bit because I have a little bit of a tongue twister kind of question for you, or
Mm.
maybe a head scratcher is a better phrase for it. Have you ever had a client say to you, or just kind of this idea of like a perfect or like the best candidate and maybe it gets kind of thrown out haphazardly. Hey Somer, I want you to find me the best candidate for the job. Like, what do you think when you hear that phrase?
So it makes me think of a few things. One is back in the day, it's funny how we remember some of these things. Back in like 2003 or something, like back in the day, um, I was talking and I didn't know how to yet articulate anything. And I didn't even know what I was doing, right? But I was talking to a hiring manager about our hot candidate, which I now people call the MPC, most placeable candidate we're pitching. And he wouldn't tell me a lot about the job. He's like, if that's the best candidate, send me that candidate. And I'm like, well, I need to know what the role is. He's like, no, I want to see the best candidate from every recruiter. And then if that's your best, I'll hire the best of all the recruiters. And it's like, that makes no sense. It makes no sense. But I was marketing this person as the best, right? So touche.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Hmm. Well, I mean, is there such a thing as a
Right.
universally accepted like good candidate category or
No,
person?
no,
Yeah,
no, no, because
right.
I have sent, I mean, there was a candidate, an executive, like a very senior person I sent on an interview. I thought this person was awesome.
Hmm.
Awesome. Sent them on an interview. They bombed. And
Hmm.
I at the time I didn't know why, but the client was like they bombed so badly, the client was upset that I sent them on this interview. And the thing is, like, I like this candidate so much that I didn't just write them off. It wasn't like forget this candidate. Now they're a bad candidate, right? On the other side,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
No, a year later, I sent that candidate another interview. They got the job. The client loved them, right? So how could one candidate be the worst and
And
also be the higher and be the best? Like, how is that even possible? That is the same person. And so, yeah, I think people hire people, right? And it's
um,
all about sure skills, but journeys. It's this person at this company at this point in time. And that is so many things and personality and just that's all
yeah.
different for everyone. And that's why you can't just look at resumes or look at LinkedIn profiles and say, this is a great candidate. It's like, who knows? Who knows? Like you really have to dig into all this stuff. So what do you think? I'd love to know your opinion.
I mean, let's just for the record, right? No, no such thing as a
Right.
universally good candidate. Let's just put it out there. But I also think, I mean, people go, I think people are going to argue with us here and say, well, actually, what about education? Like where they went to school matters because if they went to an exclusive, Ivy League school, then they must be good in some sense. Sure. But also, what are the inherent biases that come with that,
Mm-hmm.
right? Are they a legacy student? Do they have means to be able to get in, or do they get lots of tutors and SAT advisors so that they can place higher? And I mean, there's a lot of things that go
Mm-hmm.
into that type of check the box type of approach to good. But at the same time, I mean, we as recruiters, we hear what 80% of the time when you talk to somebody who wants to leave their job, the first thing I hear out of their mouth is there's no growth. And I can kind of just nod, but it's true. And so for me, it feels like a great candidate or universally good doesn't really apply for all. It applies to things like what's the growth opportunity for that person and for the organization should that person join? That's a very good candidate, right? Or they've done something that you need them to do. Well, they seem really good for you, but are you really good for them? So for me, I think we should dispel this idea of perfect or universally good because there is no such thing. A universally good
Mm-hmm.
hire for a larger organization may be not so great right now because you're a seed startup. So if we get that kind of idea out of our brains, then I think we need to redefine what good candidates look like. I think good, if you were to ask me, Zen, would you hire someone who knows 75% of the skills but is 100% enthusiastic to join the company? Or would you want it the opposite, 100% of the skills but only 75% enthusiastic of the company? Who would you hire? I'll take the former,
Right.
right? And every day.
Yeah. It's interesting because I every now and then I'll make a matrix, like a scorecard to help clients decide how we're all ranking candidates and making sure we're aligned, but also just look at numbers. Let's just put different skills, different things that we're looking at and rank people. And then you can get really fancy with Excel and make a weighting and have a weighted matrix. And so if you value this over that, it can actually be weighted more heavily. And I do have recruitability as a line item
Mm,
because that matters. It's not just about how you're assessing the candidate. And recruitability is you make an offer, will they take it? And it's not just will they
mm,
take it, but like you said, are they enthusiastic? Like, how do I feel like, do they want this? Like when the candidate tells me I'm interviewing at 4 places, but if this one comes through, this is the one. Like, man, I love that. Right. So yeah, that makes
yeah.
it a great candidate too. It has to be good for both sides. So I like how you flip the script a little bit. It's not just about the hiring manager and recruiter's perspective, it's the candidates too.
Yeah, that's a good way to kind of think about both sides of it, which really is saying no universally good candidate, which I would probably say in our next podcast when we get to that one, there's no universally good job,
Mm,
right? I think maybe we'll leave our audience with that thought.
hmm Well, the last thing I'd like to just plug is something I've coined as hiring the press release, which I don't know if I've mentioned that to you before, but it's when when I feel a client is not thinking so much about the role and this person and the success and like getting the job done well, but it's really like the press release of look who we got, and we could recruit that person from that company with that title and they came to our company and look at us. And is that
Mm.
the best candidate? Like, I
Hmm.
get all the reasons why you want to hire the press release, but at the end of the day, you want to make sure it's the right fit and the right
Hmm.
person for this role at this point in time and you didn't overhire or underhire or hire someone that you don't need, you're saying early, all the things. So anyway, I wanted to leave with that too because I do think it's important to make sure it's the right fit all around and not just the idea of it, if that makes sense.
Totally.
All right. Well, so good to see you. Thanks again for the conversation.
Absolutely. See you next week.
All right. Okay, bye.